when is this disclosure happening? Because like I hear different things like 2027 they're going to come, and then of course we all are getting those hints from the media that I just seen yesterday they showed a UAP getting hit by a missile and the missile just bouncing off, and so government officials were discussing
Mm-hmm.
that. So can you talk about the disclosure of this happening and what people should look out for?
Yeah, so when it comes to disclosure, this is a slow process because the powers that be have been given a timestamp as to when they need to disclose it before the ETs do. So
Hmm.
there's a time limit here that the powers that be on the planet are trying to keep up with. They're trying to disclose this information while remaining in the power structure they've built here, which is
Hmm.
also in assistance with other extraterrestrials, which are negative extraterrestrials. So people talk about
Yeah.
the invasion. That invasion already happened, but it wasn't really an invasion. It was more like galactic law is you can't intervene in a civilization unless they're aligned with that vibration. So positive ETs can't just
Okay.
come and intervene because it's going to intervene with humans' own evolution of their own culture. So that goes against
Right.
GFL galactic law. But the negative ETs know that they can't intervene without certain beings being in that vibration, basically calling them with their vibration, because the GFL is going to be like, no, 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 you can't do that. So
Hmm.
the negative forces or negative ETs went around that rule by saying, okay, if we could get some humans to be aligned with us, we're set. And
Oh, so
so what they
technically
did
they're
was, of
not
course, they used a certain
interfering.
group.
They're not interfering. The humans are just made a choice. Ah, tricky, tricky, tricky.
Exactly. So we see the Europeans and like the colonialist type of events that they had across the entire planet, which was all about siphoning the energy and resources of others and basically in having them enslaved or bound under their power. That was part of a negative ET plan. So
Hmm.
the Europeans, which again, this is not about color or nothing. This is just how history went. It's like all these other people, especially more ancient humans, were already in contact with ETs and all of that stuff.
They were.
But the Europeans were like, "Oh no, we want dominance, we want control." So then the ETs were like, "Oh, you want control? We can help you do that right away. Okay, make these guns, do this, have this religion. You go around and say you doing it for the good of all, but really you doing it for you." And then that's what caused
Hmm.
all of this. But what happens when you build a empire off of fear and pain and trauma? It's gonna fall. It's an unstable base. So we're seeing that fall apart right now. And powers that be, if you notice, karma is being whipped out real quick. Things are being called
Yeah.
out real quick because the war that was happening externally of Earth has been won. So the positive extraterrestrials have, people would say they've already won, which they technically already have, because
Hmm.
now it's like we just got to witness the plan whip out on the planet. We got to let the planet now do its thing, and the ETs are like, what are humans gonna do? Like, how are they gonna handle this? So they're gonna dismantle any missiles. You see, they dismantle missiles, all that stuff, because they're like, we're not letting y'all destroy this planet. You crazy? Like this
Yeah.
planet means a lot to us as well. So they ain't gonna let it be destroyed, but they're gonna let humans work their own stuff out. So now all of a sudden, people that were working with these negative extraterrestrials, like I'll just say the powers that be, which also includes celebrities, some celebrities,
Yeah.
they're now, some of them, they're looking way older now, or they're being called out for stuff. They're losing their power because their homies, their negative homies, have lost. So now
Hmm.
they can't give them any more power. So they're looking, they're being like, "Yo, can y'all help us? We're losing." And they're like, "Well, we can't really help y'all because we lost. Like, we're out here,"
Yeah.
but they're not going down without a fight. So the negative beings that are still here are still fighting to keep the lid on the jar as long as possible. And the negative humans are like, shoot, we're kind of on our own here. We got to
Yeah.
figure out what to do to postpone the inevitable. But what's even funnier is that this was always part of the divine plan to have what is laying out lay out. Not that it happened like this, but it's like, okay, we're gonna allow the negative force to do what it's supposed to do on the planet to bring about a higher consciousness. So it's like it was allowed to happen, and the powers that be knew that there was a time limit. It even says in the Bible, I like to quote the Bible a little bit, because it says that God said that the devil only has a certain amount of time on the planet.
Yeah.
True thing. If you want to put that in extraterrestrial way. And so the divine was like, this Earth is a library planet. All of galactic history is laying out on this one little planet. So ETs are watching what they went through happening here. Like it's a like what's happening in this big verse is happening on this little tiny planet, and they're watching and being like, wow, we get to watch our cousins do what we did. We're just getting to watch, and we're going to send people on the ground to help out in the process and make sure everything's going as it's supposed to. So this whole giant thing is like a giant video game slash library slash experiment to see what's going to happen. And everything that has happened is still part of the divine plan. So they knew their time would be up. But it reminds me of it reminds me of Princess and the Frog, when the it was like the one voodoo master, he's like, no, not yet, like not yet, I still got stuff to do. And the demons were like, no, your time's up. So they know, they're always looking at the clock being like, shoot, well, I got lots of time, I could do this for a while. But
Right.
now the time is ending, and they're like, well, shoot, the time is up now. So they gonna fight till the end. But the inevitable is gonna happen no matter what.